everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back, and thank you for supporting me. I'm Coretta. So in this video, I will show you how I created a chipboard sign using my Cricut Maker. Come on, y'all. Let's see how I did it. For this project, I will be using a strong grip mat, 12 by 24 in size. I will be using chipboard that's 11 by 17. I will be using a brayer, masking tape, glue, and acrylic paint. I will leave a list of these items in the description of this video. To start my chipboard sign, I am going to make a template of the size that I want my sign to be. To create the template, I am going to select shapes on the left toolbar. I'm going to select a square. And then I'm going to select shapes again to close the panel. Next, I am going to size the square to 15 by 8. So on the top toolbar, under size, I am going to unlock the lock proportion, and I'm going to change the width to 15 and hit enter. And then I'm going to change the height to 8 and hit enter. I also want to change the color so that I can see the design on the template. To change the color, I'm going to make sure that the square is selected, and then I'm going to go to the top toolbar under operations, and I am going to select the color square, and I'm going to select yellow. Then I'm going to click anywhere on the canvas to close the panel. Now that I have my template, I am going to add my text, then go back to find the fonts that I want to use. Before I add my text, I am going to hide my template to use for later. So I'm going to select my template, and then on the right side, I'm going to go to the layers panel, and I'm going to select the eye icon. Then to add my text, I am going to select text on the left toolbar. When the text box opens, I am going to type 2026, and then I'm going to click anywhere on the canvas to type my next word. I will follow the same process to add the other text. Now that I have my text, I am going to select the font that I want to use. I'm going to select 2026. Then on the font menu, I'm going to select the font drop-down menu. I'm going to select system because I only want to see the fonts that are on my computer. In the search bar, I'm going to search for Engravers MT, which is a font that I want to use. I'm going to select my font and then click anywhere on the canvas to close the panel. I'm going to select class. On the font menu, I'm going to select the font drop down menu, and then where it says Engravers on the search bar, I'm going to search for a font called the Humble Script. I'm going to select the font and then click anywhere on the canvas to close the panel. I'm going to select select the drop-down menu, and then I'm going to select the Humble Script again and click anywhere on the canvas to close the panel. Next, I want to ungroup the 2026 so that each number is its own layer. To ungroup the text, I'm going to select 2026, and on the top of the layers panel, I'm going to select ungroup, which is the first icon. With the 2026 ungroup, I want to add an offset to each letter to make them a little thicker. So that you can see what I'm doing, I am going to change the color. So I'm going to select the 2026, and at the top of the toolbar, I'm going to select the color swatch under operations, and then I'm just going to select this green. I'm going to click anywhere on the canvas to close the panel. To add an offset, I am going to select my text, and I'm just going to make it a little bit larger so that I can get the offset that I'm looking for. And then I'm going to select the 2, the 0, and the 2. And then on the top toolbar, I'm going to select offset. And then I'm going to change my distance to 0.90. You can also use the slider bar to change your offset. So if you want to, it's moving kind of slow, so it's not necessarily taking effect. 9.0, let's try 55 maybe. Okay, 55 works. So once I'm satisfied with my offset, I'm going to click apply. I'm going to move the green text out of the way, and that just leaves me with my offset. Next, I'm going to take my 6 and I'm going to move it out of the way. I'm going to move it. Okay. Select my 6. Then I'm going to bring it down a little bit, and then I'm going to resize it out. And I'm making it bigger because I want to get a different effect of my offset. I don't want my 6, the top of my 6 to touch the body of my 6, this part right here. I don't want the offset to close that area up right here. And so that's why I'm making it bigger. And then I'm going to go to the top toolbar, and I am going to select offset, and then I'm going to select apply because it defaulted to the last offset that I had, and I'm satisfied with that. And then I'm going to move this 6 out the way, the green 6, I'm going to move that out the way, and then I'm going to size this 6 down to the right size so that it looks like the other numbers here. After I've resized the 6 the same height as the other numbers, and I've positioned it so that it is touching the other number, the other offset, I am going to make sure that everything is aligned. So I'm going to select all of the offsets, and then on the top toolbar, I'm going to select align, and then I'm going to select align bottom. With everything positioned where I want it, I'm going to select all of the offsets, and I am going to weld it. To weld it, I'm going to select all of the offsets, and then on the bottom of the layers panel, I'm going to select the combine drop down, and then I'm going to select weld. I am also going to add an offset to class and of to make that font a little thicker. Now that I have the offsets for my sign, I'm just going to group these together. So selecting them all, I'm going to group the text together. So all of these are the text. So I'm going to group the text together, and then I'm going to hide it. Next, I am going to unhide the template. So on the right side layers panel, I'm going to select the eye icon to unhide my template, and then I'm going to resize and position my text where I want them. Now with everything positioned where I want it, I'm going to weld it so that it becomes one layer. To do this, I am going to delete my template. So I'm going to select the yellow template. I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard, and then I'm going to select the entire design. And on the bottom of the layers panel, I'm going to select combined, and then I'm going to select weld. With everything designed, I am ready to cut. So I'm going to select make it in the upper right corner. Here on this screen is the design on a color coordinated mat. So I am using a 12 by 24 mat for my design. And so I am just going to move this over a little to move this design over a little to the middle and away from the top, because I want it to kind of be in the middle here. And so once I get that done, then I'm going to select continue on the bottom right. Here on the material screen, I want to select heavy chipboard. So I am going to select browse all material. I'm going to search for heavy chipboard. So I'm going to search. I'm going to select the 2.mm chipboard, and then I'm going to select done. Now that I have selected the chipboard material settings, there is a warning message telling me that I should make sure that my material is no wider than 11 inches. I should move my star wheels to the right, and I need to secure the chipboard to a strong grip mat using masking tape on all 4 sides. So according to the warning message, I am supposed to place the chipboard on a strong grip mat and tape it down on all 4 sides. So here I'm using my 12 by 24 mat, and I am going to place my chipboard, which is 11 by 17 in size. I'm going to place it on my chipboard onto my strong grip mat. And I'm just going to align it up, and then I am just going to make sure that I brayer it down to make sure that it's sticking to the mat. And then I'm going to tape it on all 4 sides. Then I am going to push the star wheels to the right to avoid any grooves getting in my chipboard. Next, I am going to load the knife blade. So on the knife blade, there is a gear at the top of the knife blade. And so you want the knife blade, the gear that's on the top of the knife blade, to also align with the gear that is inside of clamp B. And so now I'm just going to replace the fine point blade with the knife blade. Now I'm going to load the mat, then press go to start cutting. Okay, so let's see how it cut. Okay, guys, so I ended up cutting 2 of the signs out so that I can make them a little bit more sturdier. The chipboard is thick, but I want it to be a little bit more sturdy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue them together so that they could be sturdier, so that one sign could be sturdier. Now, when I was cutting out the second one, my O kind of ripped off because I stepped away from the machine and it got caught in the machine. So I'm going to glue that piece on separately. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my brush and brush on my glue, and then I'm going to put the 2 pieces together. Now that the glue has dried, I am going to paint it using black acrylic paint. Okay, y'all, here is my class of 2026 sign. What do you think? Will you be trying a chipboard project? All right, guys, that's all for now. I hope that you're able to follow along with my process. If you like this video and would like to see more, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and consider subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will respond back. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.